With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and YouTube has found itself knee-deep in the hoopla once again. There has been allegations made this week about there being a potential YouTube blacklist. Philly D talked about this in a video yesterday where he said he was very tired and frustrated with the platform, seeing that his views have dropped a considerable amount over the course of the past few days. And it's not just him. I've spoken with larger creators of many different types of communities here on YouTube, and they've all said the exact same thing. Views are down, subscriptions are going away, the growth has been stalled, and they're left questioning what they're doing wrong. They're left questioning what the hell is happening, and YouTube has been, well, relatively silent, however, until today when there was an update over on the YouTube creator blog. Again, this wasn't like, publicized. This isn't an email that we got. This is, again, when it comes to the lack of communication that YouTube has, this is a big problem. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I'm going to focus on what I feel are the three key elements here. The first one, obviously, is the introduction, where it says, "Dear YouTube creators, at the beginning of the year, I wrote a letter to you outlining 5 key priorities in YouTube in 2018. Among those priorities was to communicate more frequently with all of you, and in that spirit, I plan to share updates with the creator community every quarter. Susan, this would be really a good time for you to email this to every account. That way we get it, right? Don't just post it on your creator blog and go, tee hee hee hee, we did our job. No. You want to put it out there." It says, "As you can imagine, the last 2 weeks have been incredibly difficult for the people who work at YouTube, myself included. As challenging as the experience has been for our YouTube family, the outpouring of support and kindness from creators has bolstered our spirits and reminded us why this work is so important. And yes, the YouTube shooting was an absolute tragedy. It should have never happened at all, period. Full stop. Don't want to go any further into that one. But this is about something, bigger, I want to say. Frustrations that have been mounting over the course of the past week with that type of introduction might lead people to wonder to themselves whether or not this is actually a result of that. Another knee-jerk reaction from YouTube to try to make sure certain things don't get approved or whatever, or don't get spread. Right? And we know that YouTube has tried to cull the amount of fake news videos that go out there. We know that certain topics are absolutely a no-go for monetization. I mentioned David Hogg in a video about a tweet he put out there. Didn't talk about the Florida shooting at all. Still hit with limited ads, and just kind of a hearty FU from Team YouTube. This is not how you should do business. Now, she says here that we know that the last year has not been easy for many of you, but we're committed to listening and using your feedback to help YouTube thrive. Our community continues to grow at a healthy, reasonable, responsible rate. Over the last year, channels earning 5 figures annually grew more than 35%, while channels earning 6 figures annually grew more than 40%. While we're proud of this progress, I know we have more work to do. The channels that have grown over to over $100,000 in the year are channels that are people like the Logan Pauls out there, the relatively I don't want to say non-controversial. He's been controversial this year, but last year he really wasn't. Jake Paul was a little bit, but you rewarded that behavior with Jake Paul. You kept trending him and featuring him, and Carpool Karaoke and Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert, all of those things ended up blowing up last year and getting the lion's share of a lot of attention, especially on the front page. And that became a problem when people were saying, wait, these videos, like iDubbbz, for example, was getting, 1 million views in less than 24 hours, and it never popped up on trending. There a reason for that? We never got one. But you keep saying, oh, everyone's doing much better, except they're really not. She goes on to say, "At the beginning of the year, we committed to communicate with you more through social media. This year, we increased our replies 600% and improved our reply rate by 75% to tweets addressed across our official handles, Team YouTube, YouTube Creators, and YouTube. We've also more than doubled the number of creators receiving personalized email updates. We're communicating in unofficial ways too, like Creator Insider, an employee-run channel that offers behind-the-scenes information about what we're working on." And I will say that I was recently approached by one of the companies within YouTube, this little side groups, to have a managing partner with the, you know, I had to apply for it. I don't know if I'm going to get it. Someone who would help me understand what's going on. I hope I get it. So then the questions that I have, I can in fact relay to you guys who are as confused and frustrated as I am right now, because we're all in this together. Now, the YouTube leadership has also made it a priority to connect with YouTube audiences across the globe. At South by Southwest, Lyer Cohen, global head of music, delivered a speech about his life serving artists and the role YouTube plays for them today and the future. Robert Kinsill, our chief business officer, sat down with Casey Neistat and later took questions from YouTube creator and newer stars. This is just the beginning. The questions always kind of feel very, I don't want to say half-assed, but half-answered. Very, very corporate answers. What we're asking for at this point, YouTube, what I believe we are, and to some extent, I think entitled to, is a very clear definition of what is and what is not accepted, what is and what is not allowed, what guidelines you approve of versus ones that you don't, what is there. Because if we knew all that, it wouldn't be a guessing game. We wouldn't be toying with everything as much as we are trying to make things work while you guys constantly break things, destroy things, remove things, and add things without telling us what is entirely in the mix. Now, listen, you are a private company and you can operate however you want. That's entirely true. We're left trying to figure it out. And that is one of the reasons why there's a growing area of frustration when it comes to the platform. Now, this section I do find to be interesting. It covers a little bit about the monetization process and what they've done to kind of fix that. It says here that we know it's been frustrating when YouTube monetization icon changes back and forth between green and yellow. In February, we released an update to our systems to improve overall accuracy and significantly decrease icon flip-flopping by 90%. Hopefully, many of you have noticed this. On our side, we're seeing that volume of monetization appeals is down 50% as a result. The thing with that, though, is I've noticed that, but I've also had videos that still get that green flip-flop back and forth, and it continuously is annoying. That doesn't stop being annoying. Because you're kind of leaving me in this weird space to where I can sit there and go, okay, good, this video is earning, the ads are there, versus when it all of a sudden a day later flips back to being sent back to review as if there's a glitch in the system. You take upwards of 48 hours to approve a video. That's unacceptable considering most videos have a lifespan of about 48 hours. Again, I understand you're working on this, but there are elements of it you should focus on first. The idea there is that when you should have a team dedicated. I know you have like 10,000 people you want to bring into the mix, but you need to make sure that they are reviewing those appeals as they happen. This saying that they're down 50% as a result, I do not believe is accurate. I'm sorry, I don't, because that doesn't add up to the fact that you brought in 10,000 people in order to solve the problem. Now, this next thing here, it says, many of you have said you're willing to provide more feedback on what's in your video if it meant you didn't have to worry about false positives in our monetization system. This month, we're launching a pilot with a small set of creators to test a new video upload flow that will ask creators to provide specific information about what's in their videos as it relates to our advertiser-friendly guidelines. In an ideal world, we'll eventually get to a state where creators across the platform are able to accurately represent what's in their videos so that their insights combined with those of our algorithmic classifiers and human reviewers will make the monetization process much smoother with few false positive demonetizations. That is actually something I do wholeheartedly agree with. Now, right now, it's a pilot program with small creators. I hope they're not in the vlogging community. I hope they're not in the makeup community. I hope they're in the news and commentary community, because we're the ones talking about current events. We're the ones talking about what's going on. We're the ones with, you could say, our fingers on the pulse of society to an extent, and we're the ones that are being hit the hardest. And so that is something that would be good. And I am, yeah, like I covered my video last night. Covered 2 gaming topics and 2 social topics. Neither one of them was very bad. Neither one of them should have been demonetized. Video was still confirmed for limited ads. And I kind of got a hearty fuck you from Team YouTube about it. That's what it felt like to me, at least. So having the ability to go, there's no swearing, there's no controversial material. But then again, what is controversial? What is controversial to me may not be to somebody else, or maybe even more so to another person. The human reviewers are, again, coming at this from a human reviewing perspective. And we know that they did strike down conservative channels a few months ago while they were still figuring out the ropes. This part's still happening. I understand there will be a grace period of this kind of stuff. But when we're not only seeing the flip-flopping and the monetization, but we're also seeing a massive decrease in views and people not being notified, and YouTube, you guys even coming out and saying that you don't notify everyone when a video goes live. People who click that bell get notified, but then again, people who don't click that bell, it's kind of a crapshoot. You can see how that, gets people a little bit on the frustrated side. But this next part here, I do feel is going to be the future of YouTube in terms of monetization. And this is where it's going to go to you, the audience, predominantly. We know that YouTube wants to take on Twitch. We know this. Super Chats were a direct competitor to the bits on Twitch. And they're going to be offering sponsorships right now on certain channels, or hopefully all channels, that you can sit there and financially sponsor a channel you like, a creator you like, for about $5 a month. Now it says here, creators have also told us they want more alternatives to make money beyond ads. We recently began testing sponsorship with a limited set of creators. This lets fans set up recurring sponsorships that help fund their favorite creators. Many sponsored creators saw a substantial increase in their overall YouTube revenue, so we plan to expand this to many more creators in the coming months. Right now, it's predominantly with gamers. It's predominantly with gaming, and that's fine. I get that, because they're trying to compete with Twitch. They're trying to bring those people over. I get it. But I want to remind YouTube that there are people out there that get millions of views per day that aren't part of that particular sphere. And they have a way more dedicated fan base than those gamers you're trying to court over from Twitch, but I get it. So this is where the sponsorship thing is going to come in. This is where you can basically pay to subscribe to a channel, and it will be about $5 a month, and YouTube will take 30%. Now, the reason why I feel this is going to be good for creators is Twitch takes 50%. They're going to take 30% like they do with Super Chat. So the creator actually gets more money as a result, about an extra $1.25 per person per month. That can add up over time. So that could be something worth looking into. And that's actually something that YouTube is doing that I find to be fascinating. Now, here's this part I find to be interesting, because we all should be paying attention to this. Tightening and enforcing our policies. YouTube has played fast and loose with policies for quite some time, but they're tightening them up now after what's happened over the course of the apocalypse, over the course of what happened with the Daddy of Five stuff, what happened with Alex Jones and David Hogg and Las Vegas, and the YouTube Kids app and Logan Paul. I mean, like, there's been a lot of controversies that have been hitting YouTube hard over the course of the past 12 months, and they are going to be enforcing. So this is what we should definitely be paying attention to. It says, one of our biggest challenges is facing the balance between freedom of expression with our responsibility as a community. We value the incredible diversity of voices on our platform and want to focus our policy changes on where we believe there can be real harm. In February, we announced new steps beyond our existing strike system that we may take in the rare event that one creator's actions risk harming the entire community. Our goal is to strengthen the community, and we hope to rarely use these new steps. And that's good. That is very good. They want to do that. They want to make sure that that things, that not one person can impact everybody like it did before. That is something that I actually am very much in support of. Now, it says, we've heard great creator feedback on how to address the abuse on the platform, especially when it comes to comments and spam. Through a new comment moderation tools, we've given creators a power to review comments before they're public. We've seen more than 75% drop in comment flags on the channels that have enabled it, and we're soon planning to expand this to 10 languages. We've done the same for live chat, allowing creators to hold inappropriate live chat messages for review in all languages. And that is a big thing. If you can turn that on and turn that off and whatnot and everything else, but that does keep the chat, I guess you could say, less toxic. However, in all regards, it's kind of a bad word right now. But anyway, the question does boil down to, is there a YouTube blacklist in play? And it feels like there is. It feels like the way that these systems are changing, there's an algorithm change somewhere. They're not communicating that with us, but instead focusing on the money aspect of it. That's kind of that's where they want to turn their focus to, is, oh, the money, because the money was a big part of 2017. But here's the thing, without views, there's no money. So when you have creators coming out and saying, like, my views are being stifled, the channel growth is dropped to nothing, there's a deficit in that regard, and both counts, then there is a money loss on that one. Now, YouTube did not acknowledge that at all today, but people out there are still freaking out. Whether or not they actually acknowledge it, I'm not entirely sure. but I do believe that it's actually happening. I also believe that the changes in terms of sponsorship on channels, and also trying to find more sponsorships through something like FameBit on certain channels is going to end up bringing more money into the play for certain creators. However, those of us who operate in this particular sphere, who cover the day-to-day life of the world, and we cover certain news events and topics, we have particular opinions, we use certain types of language, we're going to find ourselves being at the ass end of the horse on this one. And that's going to be unfortunate because it's going to take a long time to roll out to us. So the thing with that is simply this: if you gotten to this point in the video, which I admit it's a little longer than it should be, you have to follow on social media, right? You gotta do it. You see right there, you gotta do it. You also got to click that bell. You got to make sure that, not just for me, but like every creator you like, you got to click that bell and you got to put it out there, because that's the best way for people to actually see what's going on with the favorite creators and to stay in the know, because social media to an extent is always kind of finding new ways to screw with you. YouTube's not sending you the information. Facebook wants you to pay to publish it out to everyone on a Facebook fan page, and Twitter will suppress it if it doesn't feel that it's high enough quality. So it does require this constant checking of multiple feeds, and it's a bit of a detriment to you guys. Unfortunately, there's not much we're able to do about that. All we can do is put it out there to the best of our ability and hope to God that you guys actually see it. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. They should be interesting. I am curious to know what you guys have to say about this. Do you think there's any solution? Do you have any solution? Let me know. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out. Hey, thank you very much for watching the video. Be sure to hit that subscribe, click on that bell, and follow me on social media. It's the best way to stay up to date on all things Mundane Matt, as well as check out 3 Buck Theater and the Russell podcast, streaming Sunday through Thursday, 9:30 p.m. on russell.net. Thanks very much and have a great day.